So how much should we read into a single blood glucose reading, say from a finger stick? Is there much in that?
A fasting sugar is helpful. But
A
it's
fasting sugar, so
yes.
explain what that is.
That is, in the morning, when you wake up, before you eat, you check your sugar level.
Ah.
And you want that below a certain level. Ideally below 100, but certainly below 120.
Okay.
And then you can check a hemoglobin A1C, which is an average of your sugars for the last 3 months.
Almost got killed by a butterfly there,
Oh, no.
sorry.
It was dangerous butterflies.
It was.
So you can do a hemoglobin A1C. Then the other thing is a glucose tolerance test, where they check a fasting sugar. They check a 1 hour after you have a 75-gram sugar load and a 2-hour sugar level. And there's lots of different numbers on that.
Now,
that helps.
Is that the one that really tells you how you're doing?
It tells
how
you
your body is functioning with the absorption of the sugar and the
Yes.
metabolism of the sugar.
Yes, and that's helpful. And the last one is C-peptide. And a C-peptide is kind of helpful to distinguish between type 1, type 2, and type 1.5 diabetes.
Okay.
So that is how much, it tells you how much insulin your pancreas is putting out, whether you have enough insulin or not, and whether you will eventually need insulin.
Is that a very common test that a family physician would do?
Unfortunately,
or is that
no.
something that an endocrinologist would order normally?
You know, you can order it as a family physician, but most family physicians don't even know to order that, and it's an important one.
And it's widely available.
Easily
Our little hospital here can
Yeah.
easily do that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then some people do a fasting insulin level, but I tend to like the C-peptide, the glucose tolerance test.
Okay, so the glucose tolerance test and the C-peptide are really the best ones to identify where you are if you have a form of diabetes.
And insulin
They're the best
resistance.
ones to tell you what's going on,
Right.
how far down that road you've gone.
Exactly. So
Okay, so they're the two best to see how you metabolize or don't metabolize.
and if you have insulin.
And the best picture of if you've been a good girl or a good boy is the A1C, because that shows you an average
For 3 months.
blood sugar level through 3 months.
Correct. So all of those are helpful in their own ways.
So for an active diabetic, they definitely need to be checking their blood sugars as directed by their primary care physician.
Yes, usually fasting, and then at mealtime, before mealtime, so that they can see what their what a basal insulin level they need. So we all need insulin. Every single one of us needs it, a certain amount.
And we produce it pretty much all the time, but it
Those of us who
gets
don't have
shut
type
out
1.
when we eat, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
And then how much more they'll need if they eat a high sugar or a high carbohydrate meal.
Yeah.
But so many people think that they shouldn't be eating carbohydrates, and that is a false assumption.
Okay, I think that might be our next chapter.
Okay.
So, any other kind of testing that you...
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're going through the
Yeah. If you have diabetic neuropathy,
Yes.
your balance can get very bad. And when you're walking through the brush like we are, amongst a bunch of dead fall trees, you may well fall over. And then you get a wound, and because you're diabetic,
Right.
it doesn't
It
heal
doesn't
very
heal.
well. But that's all for another video as well.